Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a genuine tactical masterclass today. We're breaking down Spain's highly controlled 3-1 victory over Peru in their recent international friendly. But look, we aren't just going to sit here and read off the final score. We are going straight under the hood to look at the exact numbers that made this such a dominant performance. If you're the kind of fan who loves understanding the actual mechanics of a match, you are absolutely going to love the data we've pulled for this one.
Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We'll start off with perfection on the pitch. Zoom out to total Spanish tactical control. Track the match flow and key moments, highlight Pedri, the midfield metronome, and then we'll wrap the whole thing up with our final whistle takeaways.
Section 1. Perfection on the pitch.
Before we even look at how the entire Spanish team operated, I really want to build some anticipation for literally the most mind-blowing individual statistic from this entire game. You know, when you hear the word metronome in football, you instantly think of a player who just never loses the ball, right? Well, just look at this number, 45 out of 45, a totally flawless 100% pass completion rate. This is the headline stat of the match, and it belongs to none other than Pedri. For a midfielder operating in those super tight spaces to attempt 45 passes and not misplace a single one, that is just incredibly rare. It's the kind of ruthless efficiency that completely demoralizes an opposing press. We'll dig into the anatomy of these passes in a minute, but keep this absolute clinic in the back of your mind.
Section 2. Total Spanish tactical control.
So, with Pedri operating at absolute perfection, how did that individual brilliance fuel Spain's macro-level dominance? As we all know, football is a game of territory, and Spain's overall numbers tell a story of complete suffocation. Look at exactly how heavy this possession metric leans. Spain held the ball for 62% of the match, compared to Peru's 38%. By hogging the ball like that, Spain dictated the tempo, managed their energy, and basically starved Peru of any rhythm they needed to build sustained pressure.
And here's the so what of that 62% possession. This is what they actually did with it. Spain completed a massive 668 passes compared to Peru's 407. But they weren't just passing it around the backline for fun. Look at the territorial stranglehold here. Spain registered 63 final third entries to Peru's 31. That is double. Plus, they had a telling 26 touches inside the opposition box versus just 12 for Peru. It was an absolute clinic in moving the ball from safe areas right into the danger zones.
But actually, here's a really fascinating wrinkle in the data. Despite all of that overwhelming territorial control, the attacking threat was surprisingly efficient and kind of even on both sides. The overall shots were super close, 8 for Spain, 10 for Peru. Shots on target, dead even at 2 apiece. Spain created 3 big chances to Peru's 2. This underlines a really critical point. Because Peru was actually quite threatening on the counter and even hit the woodwork early on, Spain's early goals were absolutely crucial to maintaining their grip on this game.
Section 3. Match flow and key moments. Let's see how this statistical control actually built up chronologically on the pitch. Spain struck instantly. Literally in the second minute, Mikel Oyarzabal opened the scoring off a gorgeous defense-splitting pass from Pau Cubarsí. Then, at the 32-minute mark, Ferran Torres slid a square ball to Pedri, who finished from close range. Right after the halftime break, a Pedro Gallese own goal made it 3-0. To their credit, Peru showed incredible fighting spirit, with Marcos Lopez crossing for Vélez to steer home a really nice goal in the 66th minute, making it 3-1.
Now, because Spain established that commanding 3-0 lead so early in the second half, manager Luis de la Fuente had the luxury of resting his guys. At halftime and again on the hour mark, he went for deep bench rotations. We're talking bringing on David Raya, Eric Garcia, Dani Olmo, and later Gavi, Mikel Merino, and Martin Zubimendi. This kind of rotation is just vital. It lets you maintain control, dodge late-game drama, and keep the squad completely fresh without dropping the level of play.
Section 4. Pedri, the midfield metronome.
Okay, let's zoom back in from the team view to the micro level. We really need to dissect the anatomy of Pedri's spectacular night before he took a seat at the 61-minute mark. We know he went 45 for 45 overall, but look at exactly where those passes happened. 28 of those 28 perfect passes were in the opposition half. That is where defensive pressure is literally the tightest. Operating with 0 mistakes in the final third is exactly why Pedri is already being viewed as the undisputed engine for Spain's World Cup 2026 squad. Throw in going 5 for 5 on long balls, 2 key passes, and scoring on his only shot, that is just an incredibly efficient piece of midfield artistry.
I think the match analysis hit the nail on the head here, noting it was the kind of serene display that makes everything around him look simple. And that really gets to the core of his job, doesn't it? Pedri consistently received the ball right between the lines, gracefully bounced possession away from all that intense Peruvian pressure, and turned Spain's territory into actual palpable threat. He provided the exact platform Spain needed to just rotate players and keep their fluency intact.
And this brilliantly illustrates his impact. A 7.7 Sofascore rating. That rating perfectly reflects a complete shift without him having to overextend himself in a friendly where minutes are carefully managed. It tied him with Rodri for the highest outfield rating for Spain. Also real quick, over on the Peruvian side, it is definitely worth noting that Vélez earned an impressive 8.1 rating for his super threatening performance and that goal.
Section 5. Final Whistle Takeaways.
All right, the final whistle has blown. What are our big picture lessons from this match? The crucial point is this. Peru absolutely deserves credit for their resilience. They showed real threatening capability on the counterattack, forcing Spain to respect them all night. But ultimately, Spain's steady, airtight structure was just way too much. Their 71% aerial dominance, those 37 recoveries, and of course that early attacking punch they landed inside 2 minutes, that dictated the terms of engagement for the whole 90 minutes.
Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. We've seen the 62% possession, the massive 668 passes, those 63 final third entries, and obviously Pedri's jaw-dropping 100% completion rate. But what does this 3-1 win actually mean for Spain's ultimate goal, World Cup 2026? If Pedri can act as this flawless engine, Spain's ceiling rises exponentially. Looking ahead to Group H, just imagine this level of suffocating possession against the low blocks of Cape Verde or Saudi Arabia. Or imagine using this exact ball retention to completely neutralize a high-octane Uruguay side. If Spain dictates the midfield perfectly like this, are they the undisputed favorites for the 2026 title? Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep exploring the data, and I'll catch you next time.